I'm NFL linebacker TJ Watt, and this is my personal best. YPB by Abercrombie is the activewear I'm always wearing. That's why I reached out to co-design their latest drop. I worked with designers to create high-performance activewear that holds up to my toughest workouts. Shop YPB by Abercrombie in-store, online, and in the app. Because your personal best is greater than anything.
When did making plans get this complicated? It's time to streamline with WhatsApp, the secure messaging app that brings the whole group together. Use polls to settle dinner plans. Send event invites and pin messages so no one forgets Mom's 60th. And never miss a meme or milestone. All protected with end-to-end encryption. It's time for WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone. Learn more at whatsapp.com.
This is Optimal Finance Daily. How to Avoid Career Opportunity Costs by Lund Fisker of earlyretirementextreme.com. A middle-class career is often presented as the only worthwhile lifestyle to strive for. Here, the idea is to get an education and then work for a good 30 or 40 years while slowly saving a little bit every month for the day one can retire from the career and do something else that perhaps becomes what one always wanted to be. Self-actualized. Of course, it's in the middle class's interest that employees align their self-interest with the employer's interest, much like self-sacrificing worker ants align their interests with the hive. The way that education has historically evolved is a great way to transform people into workers. This leaves me wondering, what does the upper class tell their children? Now, for those who share the dream of climbing the middle class pyramid in the hope of being the one reaching the top of Queen Bee rather than being the one pushed out of the side and doing whatever it is that one does while working a collared job, there are an abundance of material and good advice from how to get the jobs, where to train to be able to push paper all day, how to spend money, and so on. However, there are also some for whom spending all of their creative, physical, or mental powers on career advancement would feel like such a waste of life, and you really only get one, that even season football tickets, red meat, a luxury car, a nice title, marketing engineer anyone, or a nice plastic plaque for 25 years of loyal service could not make up for. But maybe psychotropic prescription drugs could. The way I understand it is that people who work regular jobs, especially those who spend all day writing reports or something that goes on paper, as I used to do, it's very hard to feel a sense of meaning of the work one does, unless you really believe in the vision, as I also used to do for the longest time. You try to explain what you do to someone else, and their eyes just glaze over because they can't relate, which is a good indication that you're under the influence of the vision. Yes, today I wrote up an analysis of, according to ISO, no, and check the spreadsheet. And thus, the only way to generate this meaning is by spending the money one earns. See, for some reason that escapes me, my employer gives me $50,000 each year, so I must be doing something important. If this money is the sole means of determining the point of one's work, then how well one works or how important or relevant one's work is then measured in terms of how expensive one dresses, how expensive one eats, how expensive one lives. Quality does not matter. What matters is simply that something is exclusive. Hence the shoddy products that sell simply because they get a brand name slapped onto them. There's an easy alternative. The corporate lifestyle of working for a lifetime is often referred to as comfortable, so I won't use that word. No, there's an easy alternative, which involves working for 5 years and then saying, no, stop, buying the biggest house possible or the most expensive meals or the most expensive tickets to the most expensive sporting events or driving the most expensive car is not the way I want to self-actualize. It's not the standard I measure myself by. Also, hopefully, there will be mates out there that are not necessarily attracted exclusively by material things, although they probably live outside of LA. Our society is characterized by its worship of money. Now, don't get me wrong, I like money, but only to the extent that it allows me to spend time developing other aspects. Beyond that, it's just a silly way of keeping score. With modern technology, it's quite possible to only work 1 to 2 hours a day. For the average person, more efficient ones work less, and then spend the rest of the day developing other aspects of oneself. Imagine if society, instead of money, valued, say, kindness or good parenting. Imagine it valued skill with the gun or the sword as it once did. Imagine the ultimate value was wisdom or enlightenment. Or imagine it valued science as it did during the Enlightenment or religion as it did during the Dark Ages. What kind of homes would people live in then? What kind of food would they eat? What would their attitude towards seasonal passes or luxury cars be? Too often, I see the lament that people don't know what they would do with themselves if they could not go to work every day. I'm trying to be understanding, but I fail. Be imaginative. Here's some suggestions. Try to be the best parent you can be. Try to be the best swordsman you can be. Or lest I project my personal ideals of pursuing the status of best, go collect some exotic experiences or discover your inner self. There is much to do. Verily, I know it's not productive, but who cares? Productivity is but a fetish that whoever feeds off of the middle class have invented for their benefit. Productivity does not apply outside of profit-seeking endeavors of the middle class and those that live off the system they have created. Do parents think about how they can increase the productivity of their parenting? Can you optimize the productivity of being kind? I don't think so. You just listened to the post titled How to Avoid Career Opportunity Costs by Jacob Lund Fisker of earlyretirementextreme.com. Imagine you're a business owner who has to rely on a dozen different software programs to run your company, none of which are connected, and each one is more expensive and more complicated than the last. It can be pretty stressful. Now imagine Odoo. Odoo has all the programs you'll ever need, and they're all connected on one simple, easy-to-use platform, giving you peace of mind that your business is always being taken care of from every angle. Odoo has user-friendly open source applications for everything. We're talking CRM, accounting, inventory, manufacturing, marketing, HR, and everything in between. Basically, if your business needs it, Odoo's got it. Odoo sounds pretty amazing, right? So stop wasting your time and money on those expensive, disconnected platforms and let Odoo harmonize your business with simple, efficient software that can handle everything for a fraction of the price. It doesn't get much better than that. So what are you waiting for? Discover how Odoo can take your business to the next level by visiting odoo.com. That's ODOO.com. Odoo, modern management made simple.
Raise the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Many people are first attracted to the FIRE movement because they've become disenfranchised with their careers, much like what's described in this article. But I feel that becoming financially independent is not about not working. It's about separating your finances from your work. And there are many jobs or ways of working that aren't mindless paper pushing. So financial freedom really can open up the potential to work on your own terms, which is much more likely to lead to self-actualization. This article also reminded me of a conversation I had on the Bigger Pockets Money podcast. It's episode 215 if you want to check it out. In reference to leaving my full-time job, despite not yet being financially independent, I was talking about how my pursuit of F.I.R.E opened up this opportunity for me to take more risks. And one of the hosts of the show, Scott Trench, challenged me on that and pointed out that having a job you don't enjoy that takes up a large portion of your time might actually be the bigger risk. You're potentially risking not finding fulfillment, seeing yourself at your full potential, or creating a life you love. This idea that you won't be able to live your best life until you quit the rat race is a myth in my opinion. If you have any kind of financial stability, why not leverage that to find work that doesn't make you miserable? That'll do it for this episode. Have a happy rest of your day, and I'll be back with you again tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.